Vanakkam. Welcome to CultureFest 2020. I am Sajini. As you guys know, CultureFest is based on an epic that brings about so many values, and one of it is unity. Now, what do Singaporeans unite unanimously over? I think we all know the answer to that in a heartbeat, and that is food. So today, I have Singapore's Spice Queen to bring me on an epic journey of Indian food heritage. Chef Devagi!
Hello!
Welcome, welcome. All right, Chef, what do we have in store for us today?
I'm going to bring you on an epic vegetarian journey.
Huh? Vegetarian?
Yes.
Wow, the carnivore in me is a bit, excited. It's very excited.
No, but traditionally, our forefathers, most of them were vegetarians.
Right.
And okay, we are going to do the sweet dish, which is a pumpkin payasam. And then we will do a fenugreek leaf rice. And then we have a sundal, which is actually a mixture of different peas and different textures of chickpeas and everything. And then we will do a drink because the weather is hot.
So the dessert is going to be pumpkin payasam.
Yes, pumpkin payasam.
And we're starting with that.
Yes.
Let me ask you, why pumpkin? I mean, we have usually heard of semia payasam and, all kinds of other payasam, but not pumpkins. I've never heard of it.
What color is this?
Yellow.
Yellow is an auspicious color for the Indians.
Right.
Correct? Remember? Saffron, turmeric,
yes,
wedding cards,
yes,
splashes of
and beautiful
turmeric.
marigold.
Yes, so that's because we're starting off this auspicious event and it's sweet and we are Singaporeans, we want to modify our recipes a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is high in fiber. We are adding vegetable to a dessert.
That's true. Fiber is very important for gut health.
Yes.
So what is the first thing that we're going to do?
Okay, what I'm going to do is I have some water here. And I'm going to boil jaggery. Jaggery is the cane sugar, palm sugar as we call it. So I've got the light colored one. Okay. Because if you have a dark one, it will make the payasam dark.
Okay.
So because we want the pumpkins yellow color, right? So we have a light one. And I'm just going to put it in here and turn on the stove and let this boil and melt away, right?
All right.
And dissolve away. And then normally palm sugar is not very sweet. So you need to add a little bit of sugar to it to make it better. Okay. So I'm just going to add like 1 or 2 tablespoons. Now all this is to be modified later because pumpkin can be sweet.
Yes.
Some pumpkin are not.
Ah,
right?
How do we know the difference between...
You need to taste when you're cooking. I mean, in normal cooking procedure, when you're almost finished, you need to taste to make sure that the final taste is there. That's why recipe says taste.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
So we are boiling this, and while we are boiling this, I'm going to add in the pandan leaves because I'm going to remove it later.
Okay.
And I have cardamoms here. Cardamoms are very fragrant, right? So these cardamoms are the ones that's going to truly flavor the payasam at the end, and we need to pound it. You would like to do that?
Sure.
Sure.
Yes. When my mom's cooking, right, my favorite thing to do, I would like to pretend that I'm her sous chef. I would just stand next to her and then I do all this, like, as we call it in local language, tumbok lah, tumbok the thing. Wow, this is smelling amazing. The
pandan.
The jaggery has melted together with the pandan.
Yes.
Plus the aromatics of the cardamom.
Of the cardamoms, right? Yeah.
To those that have just joined us via Facebook Live, welcome, 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 welcome to CultureFest 2020. This is our first food edition, and today Chef Devagi is cooking for us some epic Indian dishes and taking us on an epic Indian food journey, and we are all very excited. So you can leave your comments below as you watch this journey unfold. Okay, so right now I have just pounded ground the cardamoms. So, Chef, as we are waiting for that, can you tell us, what is the difference between, masalas, spices that are bought, like in the shops, and then grinding your own? Do you do your own spices?
Oh, yes. If you do it yourself, you know you're buying the quality ingredients and you are cleaning it because spices are dried anywhere, any part of the world. It can be on the rooftop, it can be anywhere. So, it can be very dirty as well, right, when you buy it. So, you have to clean your spices first, and then when you have it ground, you know that you are actually having pure, good quality stuff. But in the shops, they do mass production. They have no time. So they just pour the whole thing into the grinding machine and then they would just grind it. And because spices can be expensive as well, they need to sometimes adulterate it.
Okay.
so that it can stay longer, so that the color is retained, and then it can also sort of give you volume, you know, like you can add a bit of corn, for example, and grind it with your chili powder, and then what happens? It will have bulk. So you're actually getting less of the chili for the amount you're paying for the chili.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then people can be educated if they are having an adulterated powder or not. Very simple. If I'm boiling a pot of water and I take 1 tablespoon of a commercial curry powder and dump it in, it will clump together.
Right, I've seen that happen.
Yeah, so that means it's an adulterated one.
Okay.
But if it disperses, then it's pure.
Wow, something you need to try with the masalas that you have at home.
Yes, okay, so while we're talking, this thing has already dissolved already. So jaggery can sometimes have twigs and leaves and all that, so we need to strain it.
Okay.
So I'm just straining it. So this looks like a very clean one, but can you see some sediments there?
Yes, I do see
So
the
I'm going to wash that.
So after you strain it,
We pour it back. Okay, it's done. Now we'll turn on the stove again. I'm going to add in the pumpkin.
Okay.
Okay, so what I did was I steamed the pumpkin with the skin, and then I removed it and slightly mashed it. I did not mash it completely. It was because I want a chunky payasam.
Okay.
Okay, so it goes in. And you just keep stirring it so that it's not clumped together. And then I have some sago.
Okay.
Okay, the sago is to bind the payasam so that it's thick and slightly gooey, right? So if you don't want to use sago, you can actually add rice if you want.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind of rice? Like glutinous
Just,
rice?
no, not glutinous, just normal jasmine rice will do, not basmati rice.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So we'll add, and this has already been boiled. Yeah? So we add that. And you can use the big sago or the small sago, it's up to you what you want to use. Okay, so this is done.
So chef, tell me.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure you've been cooking for so long.
Yeah.
And has it been difficult to maintain the heritage and the culture of Indian cooking, but at the same time coming up with innovative ideas, to keep the food, in changing times, like relevant in changing
Yes,
times?
okay, I grew up eating traditional food, but because my mother is born in Singapore and my father was from India, so therefore we had a bit of a cross-cultural eating at home. So, like for example, we would add black soya sauce to our fish. We call it kicap mina.
Yes, correct.
Right? Or we will have an asam pedas.
Yes.
But the asam pedas will not look exactly like a Malay one.
Yeah.
It was probably modified a little bit because it will not have belacan.
Correct.
Yeah, so yes, we do modify, but to keep the traditional Indian food is not difficult at all. It's all about, at the end of it, youngsters, when they look at traditional food, they think it's all brown, it's all rust-colored, or it's red,
Yes.
or it's yellow. It's not colourful. But then, having said that, these days, chefs are becoming very creative. They use the brown and the black and the whatever, and they can make the same fish curry or anything very colourful. It's all about visual preparation. Our forefathers did not think about it. Okay, it has come to a boil.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, I've got a tasting spoon. I'm just going to taste to make sure that there's enough sweetness. Okay, it's nice. So I'm going to add a pinch of salt.
Okay.
Okay, the reason why I'm adding salt is because I'm going to add coconut milk. Now, coconut milk, when you have it in any dessert, if you have a pinch of salt, it brings out the dish to another level, right? So, coconut cream goes in. Now, coconut has been used by the Indians for a long, long time for making desserts, for cooking. Okay, so the cardamom powder is added in.
My hard work is being added in right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're actually done. And, I said you can start off with the sweet if you want to. Do you want to start now?
No, I will wait for everything to finish first.
Okay.
Yes.
So just before we are serving, we top it with some nuts.
Okay.
For texture. Okay? Because in Indian cooking, there is texture and there's 6 days, which I'll go through later.
Okay. To those of you watching us live from home, welcome to CultureFest 2020. Today we are having a food edition, and together with me I have the Spice Queen Chef Devagi taking us on an epic food journey. We just finished cooking the payasam, pumpkin payasam, which is something that's very interesting. And now we are on to our second dish.
So the second dish is going to be fenugreek leaves rice
Fenugreek
or
leaves
binde sadam.
Okay.
Okay, so I chose this dish because number one, it's a one dish meal. Number two, it has got all the health benefits that you want out of a dish.
Okay. So as you are putting in all your spices, you are going to talk us through the health benefits of this fenugreek rice that you are making.
Okay, ghee. So ghee is something clarified butter, as we call it. The Indians have been using it for centuries. And yes, I know that some people believe that ghee is unhealthy. Anything that is taken in abundance is unhealthy.
Right.
But when you include ghee or some kind of good fat in your body, it actually helps with your joint lubrication. Okay, so that's very important.
I think I need to take a bit more ghee in my food now. All my knees, joints, all in pain.
Okay, so I'm just heating ghee. And the other reason is also ghee has got high heating, smoking point, so you can fry things in it, no?
All right.
So I have cinnamon. You can see this cinnamon.
Oh, the cinnamon is actually much lighter in color. It's much lighter and it doesn't have the pungent smell.
This is the real cinnamon. Cinnamon sticks into this. And I have cardamoms, some cloves, and bay leaves.
Okay.
Put in the cinnamon, please.
Sure. Thought of taking it with me.
Okay, so we fry this until you hear little explosions.
Okay.
Right? That's called tempering, hot tempered.
That's when you know the aromatics are being
Yes,
released,
it releases the flavor. Right?
Right.
And then I have onion, ginger, and I have lemongrass.
Yeah, exactly. Like lemongrass is not something Indians
I'm
use.
Singaporean.
Right. She has to keep reminding me that.
Yes.
That a lot of Singaporean Indian cooking has actually infused our neighboring cultures' ingredients in, right?
Yes. So I'm putting in the lemongrass. And then I have 2 chili paddies.
Okay.
So I'm adding in onions. And I cut the onions chunky.
Okay.
Because so that you eat it as like a vegetable.
Okay.
Rather than discard it.
And onions, I know when I was growing up, my mother used to say you have to eat a lot of onions because it's very good brain food.
This is black peppercorns. You need to pound it coarsely. Now it depends. If you want it very spicy, then you do it well.
Okay.
If not, coarse, yeah.
Right. Today I am the tumbok lady. Okay, so my expertise today is to
Good.
pound it.
Okay, so I've got some cumin. I'm adding it now. Because if I add it earlier, because cumin is so light, it might burn.
Oh, that is one mistake I make when I'm cooking actually. I always add in cumin when the oil is hot because I always think like, you know, you need to flavor your oil.
It depends on how many ingredients you have for tempering. Because I have heavier spices like cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, right? So therefore, my smallest spice would be cumin. It goes in last. But if you're only using cumin and another light spice, you can add it first.
Okay. Costly, right?
Yeah, enough. That's good
Okay.
enough, yeah. Okay, so we'll throw that in, please.
My hands are clean, by the way.
So what I have here is basmati rice, long grain rice. You don't have to use long grain rice. You can use normal jasmine rice.
Okay.
And I washed it thoroughly, and then I soaked it for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Because I'm using basmati rice. If you soak it, it sort of elongates a bit.
Okay.
And then I have mung beans here.
Okay.
And this mung beans, what I did was I dry roasted it in a pan first. When I say dry roast, no oil, nothing, right? So you just heat it up until it's slightly aromatic. And the reason why I did that, number one, for the aroma. Number two, I'm putting rice and this together. So what happens? This might boil too fast and becomes very mushy.
Right.
So I need to firm it up. So I sort of fry it. Yeah.
Okay.
So add this as well to the pot.
help you
Yes.
hold it?
Yeah. I'm adding in some turmeric,
Okay.
some cumin powder, and I have peas.
Okay.
So instead of peas, you can use corn, because why I'm using this because I want fiber. And the star of the dish is the fenugreek leaves. So these are fenugreek leaves. So when you
Okay.
sprout the fenugreek, you get leaves, and they are equally powerhouse of nutrients as well. So I've chopped them up. You don't have to chop it very fine, just very roughly will do. And then I have about 1 liter of water here. And I'm going to add in salt.
All right.
Stir this.
So now today we are cooking like predominantly vegetarian food, right?
Yeah.
And I think like vegetarian food is something that's been in our heritage for really long. Like vegetarian cuisine has been there in the Indian heritage for like centuries.
Yes.
And can you tell us why?
Okay, I think number one is because lack of animals for slaughtering. I mean, if we are talking about India, it was expensive.
Okay.
Number two was for religious reasons. Number three, vegetarian food digests very easily. And vegetarian food is supposed to calm you down.
So I think it's part of like Ayurvedic
Correct,
food
because
as well.
you are what you eat. So if you eat a lot of animal products that has an adrenaline rush because it was killed suddenly and all that, you're actually assimilating all those anger and fright of the animal. So therefore, people learn that it's good if they go vegetarian. I have a pot full of protein, carbo, and everything that you need, and you just a one-dish meal.
Exactly. Okay, chef. So now that is cooking.
Yes.
I'm sure you're going to start on your next dish. So what are you going to cook?
I am not cooking, you are cooking.
I'm not cooking. You are cooking.
No, you work for your food.
I am working for my food. So right now, I'm working for the food you are cooking.
No, you are cooking.
Oh no. So does this mean I get promoted from like sous chef to junior chef?
It depends after you have finished cooking.
Oh right. I like this.
Okay, so we are going to do a salad.
Okay.
But it's an Indian tempered salad. So you need to fry some oil and so heat some oil first.
All right. So tempered salad. So as with all Indian dishes or most Indian dishes.
I'll tell you. No, a bit more.
Okay.
Okay, enough.
All right. That's oil.
Then you add in the mustard seeds.
Okay.
So this is called tempering. So we let the mustard seeds sort of pop so that there'll be a smell.
Woo!
Add a bit more. Okay, and then add in all the curry leaves now.
Okay. So like.
Yes, just pull it
Shred
out.
them.
Yes.
Woo! Oh, it smells amazing.
Yeah. Okay, we are done.
That's all.
Yep.
That's very fast.
You can eat it now. Yes,
Right?
it's ready. So we just have to assemble the salad ingredient.
Right, I'm going to put this here so everybody at home can watch.
Yeah, the star ingredients is of course chickpeas.
Okay. So
Put it
I'm
into
just
the
gonna put
bowl.
them in.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a variety of ingredients
Yes,
here.
and it's colorful as well. So that's mango. This mango is not ripe; it's semi-ripe. Cucumber,
Okay.
and we can have the pomegranate.
Okay.
So the pomegranate is added because the seeds are astringent.
This shows that I've not eaten my lunch, so I'm very... Is there an art to squeezing lime, chef? Really, I'm not exaggerating. Last one, guys.
Let me do that. I need to have the last say in my juice.
Okay.
Just one finger. Done.
Thanks. I mean, she is the Wonder Woman after all. She is the Spice Queen after all.
Okay, so we'll add a bit of salt.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to add this stuff with the oil and all into that bowl.
And we
Mix
mix
this. Now the reason why I wanted the oil and everything to be there because the full flavor is now in the oil, and then the oil actually helps to keep the lime juice sticking to the food. If not, if you just pour lime juice, it's going to sink to the bottom.
Ah, right.
And then use a wooden spoon, not metal spoon, because you don't want to cut the pomegranate and juice it up, you know.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so just stir it.
So there's a reason for everything that's done.
No, don't do this.
Okay.
Because you're cutting my
Oh,
fruits.
so I'm supposed to stir.
Stir, yeah.
Can I not taste this? I'm very scared. Okay, so I'm supposed to taste it.
Just to see whether there's a balance of sugars, sourness, salt.
Oh, oh wow. Oh. I made this, guys, to taste
It's
the
not complete yet.
Oh, no.
We have to finish it by sprinkling coconut. So it becomes the Tenga Manga Patani Sundal. So you can have grated coconut or sliced coconut with this, like coconut pieces. Okay, so we are done.
Oh, we're done?
Yes.
Oh, that was the fastest thing ever.
I've not tasted it to mark you.
Oh, no. Ah, you have added a piece of paper in.
So the rice is ready actually.
Ooh, it smells amazing.
So whenever we cook any rice, we shouldn't, as in like for Indian cooking, we shouldn't be immediately dishing it out.
Okay.
We should leave it for 10 minutes so that the steam and everything will just settle down a bit and it will finish the last stage of cooking.
Okay, so yes, for those of you watching at home, you have watched us cook the pumpkin payasam, this fenugreek leaf rice, and this amazing 6 flavored
Chickpea salad.
salad, okay? And next week coming up, we have a drink. But anyways, we have come to the last one and we are making a drink, which is a very interesting drink actually.
Spanagam.
Yes.
So panagam is actually a mixture of different spices, lime, water and everything, right? So it sort of cools you on a hot day.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll be amazed that we are going to use some spicy pepper in it.
Pepper?
Some warming ginger in it.
So wait, this drink is supposed to cool you down,
Yes.
but you have warming spices such as ginger and pepper.
So what I have here is grated jaggery. So, and then I have water.
Uh-huh. Does it need to be warm or room temperature?
Room temperature or boiled water.
Okay.
So you see, if we are doing it at home and you know how to do this, then you can boil a jaggery syrup and keep it.
Okay.
And then when people want, you just serve everything, add in the other ingredients.
Okay.
Okay. So once this is like, we are just dissolving this. Then once this is dissolved, we will add in salt. We have to add salt to this because it has lime.
Sodium chloride is very important to the human body.
Okay. Then I have ginger powder. So this depends on you, like how much you want your ginger, how little you want.
Okay.
So that's added in. And over here, you know the ones that you pounded earlier, it's a bit of pepper
And, cardamom.
So remember I
Yes.
said cardamom is a cooling spice.
Yes.
And pepper is a
Warming
warming spice. And then on top of that, I've got something here. It's camphor.
Yeah, it is camphor. This is the one like Indians use in prayer, right?
Not exactly. This is called Pache Karpuram, which is like a different version of it.
Very little, guys.
Yes, put it in here,
Okay.
and then we'll just crush it. Okay, it has to be crushed.
Okay.
Done.
Right. So at the end of the day, from food and then from the spices that you use, you can, learn about Ayurveda and, the health benefits of the spices.
Correct.
And then you go back to our roots. So I think food is something that it all starts from. Interesting.
From the home.
I never really thought about it.
Okay. You passed.
Oh, yes!
Okay, so what we're going to do, right? You see this pepper and all this, some of the chunky pieces, we are
Yes,
going to strain it. Okay, we'll just strain
Can I
it.
help you strain it? Okay.
So we are done. And then I'll throw in your...
But these are the shells of the cardamom that we...
the pods.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
I put
pods.
it in because when you're drinking, as you are sipping, right, the smell from the skin will also add into the experience.
Like I mentioned earlier, I tell you, all of nature has got multi-purpose use. You know, you can use for many things.
And we can use a little bit of
Basil,
the holy basil, and try to use the smaller leaves. And holy basil on its own has a smell, but when you crush it, the smell is enhanced
and released. Holy basil is different from Thai basil,
yes.
guys.
Okay, so you just put that in because it is medicinal.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Guys, I'm not kidding. The basil.
Yes, it's to be eaten.
Okay, so while I'm just gonna sit and sip on this, I'm gonna see you prepare. Is that
Yes.
right? Let the feast begin, guys.
See you in a while.
And this is the part I enjoy the most. I work hard for my food, lor. Thank you, Chef. Thank you so much for bringing me on this actually an epic food journey and learning so much. I mean, you have shared so much of information with us about spices and why vegetarian food and about our heritage.
Yes.
So right now, I am going to taste the richness of this food.
Okay.
All right. So first, we have to start with the sweet.
Sweet,
right?
yes.
Okay. And this is the pumpkin
Payasam.
payasam. Right. Oh my god. This is so yummy. Honestly, I'm not a fan of pumpkin.
Okay.
But this doesn't really taste like pumpkin at
Yeah,
all.
it's not.
The flavors are all very infused. The coconut milk has just brought this richness, as you
Taste,
had mentioned,
yeah.
to this. Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay,
Now you can go into the main and the sides.
and now comes the main dish. Okay. This is the fenugreek leaf rice.
Yes.
Okay. And the salad
Salad.
that I made, which I worked for.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm eating.
No. I just told you, eat with your fingers to experience.
How could I have forgotten that? Basic, right? Okay, so right now we're going to eat with this because we have natural amino acids and MSG from our hands that's
Yes.
going to make this finger licking good. Oh my god, guys, I can't stop eating this. The burst of flavor is amazing. At this point, I would like to thank Chef Devagi for sharing with us her knowledge about Indian food and spices and sharing tips and tricks with us. And thank you all so much for joining us from at home for this beautiful edition of CultureFest 2020. I will see you all again next week. I am Sajini signing off.